Hello, my name is Maurice, and I'm going to be answering some questions for the class of organizational psychology. In total, there are 5 questions. They're going to be addressing different topics, and I really hope that you can enjoy the presentation. We are human beings in constant interactions with others and the social environment in general. Organizational psychology takes these aspects into account to study individual and group behavior in organizations that present an stated purpose. The literature exposes that the growing development of technologies has facilitated communication among people inside and outside of organizations. These improvements have become more important during the past 2 years because of the COVID-19 global health and economic crisis. This pandemic forced many companies around the world to implement mandatory work from home policies, compelling employees to turn their houses into their new offices. Research in this specific element is still a novelty in organizational psychology. However, scholars have started to propose studies focusing on the potential appearance of new dynamics related with the work-non-work interface, especially work-family conflicts. Further, research will be necessary for understanding how work-from-home policies affect processes like work productivity, motivation, creativity, innovation, virtual leadership and management, among others. In the face of this historical event, industrial organizational scientists and practitioners are calling for better teamwork that are up to the new challenges in our field specifically. Organizational socialization is described as a longitudinal process that allows new employees to correctly learn the necessary skills for performing the job for which they were hired. Also, the socialization process teaches newcomers the organization history, values, goals, language, and culture. Important elements that will help them to better understand the new organizational environment. Taking under consideration these features, at Liberty University, the socialization process for graduate students like me in the Industrial Organizational Psychology Online program occurs in a very institutionalized manner. A student online account at the university's website and an email are the primary sources of communication for learning about the institution history, values, goals, the characteristics of our study program, etc. Furthermore, there are online class introductions that prepare you for the demands of the program, as well as every class module communicates the necessary skills to develop when studying. The Canvas inbox allows us to communicate with professors and student peers when in need of clarification about the class or a specific assignment. Because it's an online program, the institution prioritizes effective communication channels for all students and professors. Newcomers are invited to experience Liberty's cultural environment in a virtual and engaging way. It is my opinion that the Industrial Organizational Psychology Online program is successful because it offers all the essential knowledge to the graduate students in order for them to be able to consider their future roles as industrial organizational psychologists. Most employees face the challenge of balancing the demands of their work with other areas of their life. As an employee myself, I've been there too. Work-family conflict occurs when employees' roles at work contends with their family roles. This is a very common inter-role conflict in workers' lives. Because of it, workers can benefit from work-family policies that promote, for example, flexible working hours and working formats, like working from home in a necessary day, different types of time off, bonuses, among other kind of policies. All these policies should be according to the needs of the employees. However, these kind of actions require the active effort of organizations to create and implement these procedures, as well as the disposition of supervisors to really put them in practice in the workplace and teach employees that they're allowed to ask for these benefits and is not punished. Psychological research has proved that these work-family policies benefit the organization because they reduce different forms of counterproductive behaviors, like, for example, turnover and absenteeism, as well as increase employees' job satisfaction and commitment. Researchers have developed several instruments for evaluating some external assessment of job performance. Murphy refers to 8 different ways: paper-pencil test, job skill test, on-site hands-on testing, off-site hands-on testing, high-fidelity simulations, symbolic simulations, task ratings, and global ratings. When developing a performance assessment program, I will use a survey technique that has all the questions rating the direction and extent of the answer provided by the employees, better known as a Likert rate scale. Also, the items will be reading, taking under consideration the organizational and specific job language for facilitating a better comprehension of the questions. The purpose of the survey will be to, in a first moment, to have the workers rate their efficiency when conducting their specific job task, and in a second moment, also respond about their behaviors when doing other global work, not directly related with their job descriptions, but conducts that are also necessary in the workplace. However, when choosing the right technique, the literature exposes that it is important to pay attention to the characteristic of the work being assessed, because some biases could influence the results. For example, my personal preparation in developing and applying the technique, how good I was trained to do this kind of job, the realistic opportunity to observe the employee's performance within the organization, and the degree to which the instrument actually reflects the specific behavior related with the job. All these elements are very important for applying the technique and also analyzing the technique later. Organizations are systems with established purposes carried out by employees. Organizational psychology focusing on studying the manifested behavior of individuals and groups within the workplace. Therefore, both the characteristics of organizations and employees are important in this field, as well as their constant and complex interactions. Because of this, researchers have examined the influence of organizational formal and informal restrictions for the presence of counterproductive behaviors. Sometimes, approved policies within the organization are seen for the scientific literature as negative promoters of counterproductive behaviors. For example, when the policies within an organization promote unfair treatments to employees who need to be absent from work because of excuse reasons, or they do not offer work benefits and flexibility for employees to have work-life balance. Furthermore, when organizational constraints are related to negative working conditions or high job demands that stress employees and make them feel frustrated, the most common outcomes for these situations will be high rates of absenteeism, intentional poor job performance, and employee theft. Also, when official protocols fail to correctly educate employers and employees in social, appropriate, and respectful relationships among the co-workers, or the compliance are not required by managers and supervisors within the workplace, damaging behaviors like workplace incivility, abusive supervision, social undermining, workplace violence, substance abuse, and sexual harassment emerge. All these negative behaviors affect the correct functioning of the organization. Well, this is all. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and maybe in some way I contribute to some knowledge that you can gather about organizational psychology and specific subjects related with the directions that research in organizational psychology will be maybe moving in the near years. Also, questions related with organizational process that organizational psychology study, and other subjects. Thank you so much for watching this video.